Dear Aunt Flo is a podcast about bad periods, and I'm your host, Elisa Michelle. Every month, we'll dive deep into my own vaginal monologues as I discuss my journey with endometriosis and share stories that we wish someone would have warned us about sooner. I am your new period BFF, so let's get comfortable speaking about our cycles. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Aunt Flo. I am your esteemed host, Elisa Michelle. And today we're going to talk about our periods. Duh. If you are joining for the first time, hello. Welcome to my little corner of the world. I invite you to follow me on IG at dearauntflo.pod. If you are listening on Apple or Spotify, I also invite you to watch with us on YouTube at Elisa_Michelle. Straight like that, because YouTube won't let me change my Google account and I refuse to start over. So find me, subscribe, like, comment, share, all of those interactive good things. And yeah, today we're literally going to talk about like our period, but as like a whole. Like we're diving in to the cycle. And when I say cycle, I mean all 4 phases and then everything in between. But you know what we have to start with first. And if you don't, it's called A Letter to Aunt Flo. Dear Aunt Flo, we are not on the same page. You no longer provide ample warning before you arrive. And it's like showing up at someone's house without calling or texting first. And I don't like that. I need to know ahead of time so that I can put on the full armor of God. Okay? Okay. Sincerely fed up, Elisa Michelle. Okay, so this is one of those obvious topics because it's a period podcast, but I was also a few years old, when I learned about the phases of a menstrual cycle. AKA the number of days in between your periods, like day 1 of one and day 1 of the next. And growing up, I can't recall ever learning about this, not even in health class. And we've talked about the lack of full education, full scope education during health class. But I don't remember learning about any of this. And when I say this, I'm talking about the 4 phases of a menstrual cycle, of a period cycle, of a cycle. So you have your menstrual phase, your follicular phase, your ovulation phase, and your luteal phase. And I'll dive into them in a second, but back to my story. I don't recall learning about any of these phases and the relation to how my body changes over the course of an entire month, right? So it's not just during the week of your period that your body is going through a transition or a transformation. I talk a lot about only having like a week to yourself every month, but I don't even know if it's that long. So many of us were on birth control early in life, so who even really knows like their own body without hormones intervening in some way? And that's hella frustrating. For so long, women were, and definitely still are, told that you PMS or whatever the week before your cycle, then you have it, and then you go back to normal until it comes back again. But that's not actually the case. Okay, everybody's different. So a typical cycle is 28 days. But some women have a 35-day cycle or a 21-day cycle. And it can vary because we're all different. There are some women who have PCOS who literally just like don't bleed for months at a time. So this is the part where I also remind you that I'm not a doctor, but I learn things and then I share them. And I'm learning to ride along with you, so give me grace. but also like learn something too. Hopefully. I hope you do. Right. So I think that it's important to keep track of your cycle because you never know, like, or you just want to be like aware of what's happening at your with your body at any point so that you can pinpoint different changes. If something happened to you last month that's not happening this month, or maybe something happened to you last month that you're not used to, that hasn't happened before, like you need to know when things are out of your norm for your own body. Side note, this is not sponsored in any way, but I mean, if you would like to, please hit me up. But I recently became aware of this period tracker app called Stardust, and I'm telling you because it's woman owned, but it also, you own the data that you put into this app, right? So it can't be tracked by the government in them. And that's important because, well, we all know what happened, okay, a few weeks back. So keep that in mind. If you're using a period tracker app on your phone or your tablet or something, if you don't have like a physical journal that you're keeping, like just keep in mind of how they share your data. And so, yeah, I learned about Stardust. It was vetted by someone that I trust and follow, who also talks a lot about her period and has a nonprofit and all that. So, yes. Anyway, and side note. So, yeah, too often our doctors are so like nonchalant about our irregular cycles when we're sharing things that are happening. So it causes us to be a little more silent about even like the smallest change. So yeah, I think it's important to like keep track of what's happening so that you notice when different things are different. And then always speak up about it too, because you never know. The smallest thing might be what makes a difference in how you move forward. And hopefully you'll have the right doctor to help you pinpoint those things. Okay, let's dive into the phases. So we're going to talk about all 4 phases. I'm just going to give brief overviews. I will remind you once again that I am not a doctor, so do not come for me in these comments, y'all. I'm just sharing my life findings and hope that it helps you in some way. I digress. Okay, phase 1. Your menstrual phase. This is, and again, I will say like different days and numbers and things. This may vary from person to person. So your menstrual phase is day 1 through 5. This marks the beginning of your cycle when the uterine lining sheds. So because you didn't produce a baby, that thickened lining is no longer needed, so she bleeds. So hello, period. She has arrived in all her glory. She's heavy or maybe she's light. Either way, she's here. So rest during this time. It's important to listen to your body. Take it easy. Stay hydrated. Water is so key during your period, during this menstrual phase. Drink loads of water. You might even be drinking tea, but drink loads of water too. Like, it's very good to flush out your body and just keep it regulated. Okay? And give yourself grace and your body time to release during this time. So, menstrual phase 1, which leads to phase 2, our follicular phase. Follicular. That's a fun word to say. Or a difficult word to say. Either way, it's phase 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is day like 6 to 11, give or take. And fun fact, only one of those eggs is going to mature while all of the others die. So, yay. It's wild. Our bodies are so cool, yet so disrespectful, yet so like fascinating. Anyway, hello energy, where'd she come from? Because this week is a drastic difference from a few days ago when you thought you were dying. Okay, your follicular phase is your new beginning. Okay, you are birthed anew. This is actually starts on the first day of your menstrual phase, and it goes through your ovulation phase. So it overlaps. It's a tricky thing, okay? We got phases, they overlap, they be doing different stuff, and you wonder why we all different, okay? Yeah, lean into this week, okay? Lean into your energy and really get things done during this time. Take stock of when this is happening so that you know how to plan accordingly. And yeah, give that energy some oomph, okay? If you work out, lift them weights, sister. Lift them weights, okay? And then we go to phase 3, our ovulation phase. So again, days vary. This could be days like 15 through 16 or 14 through 15. I'm given approximations here because it depends on the length of your cycle. Okay, this is when that mature egg that was chosen during your follicular phase, the mature egg travels through the fallopian tube and has about 24 to 48 hours to be found by sperm to produce whatever it's supposed to produce. Otherwise, it dies. Again, disrespectful, okay? You have a very short window of time here. Very short window of time, depending on where you are, what stage you are in life. If you're trying to have a baby or not, that will vary. But yeah, early sperm catches the worm or the egg, and yeah, if no baby, then it's off to the next phase. Also, some women can like feel when their egg drops. That's me, and it's so weird. It's such a weird feeling. Don't like it. But yeah. So yeah, if no baby, then it's off to the races, aka the luteal phase, which is not a race because it's actually more like a nesting stage. So this is day 15 through 28. Again, we overlapping. So yeah, I call this the nesting stage because it's when your body is going to sleep whenever, however, wherever it wants to. Hello PMS. And hello rest. So D-Day is coming, all right? It's inevitable. It's a cycle. So this is a great time to take things slow and steady, okay? Relax. If you work out, this is the week to do yoga and stretching and deep breathing and really center yourself. Be one with your body and really just like hone in on the lack of energy, because your energy levels will decrease during this time, okay? This is also where the uterus prepares for possible pregnancy if, again, you're at that stage of life. So yeah, overall, I think it's just important to know that your period is not just the week that you bleed. It is a full 28, 21, 35-day cycle. That's so crazy. Like, we are all very different people experiencing very different things, but like it's all the same. Like it connects us all, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I wish they taught these things in school. During health class. I wish they taught these things when you go to your physical every year at the doctor's office. Like, your doctor should be preparing you before puberty hits, like telling you what's going to be happening to your body so that you're aware. Like, I know there are some parents who may or may not tell their kids. I wasn't really told much until it actually happened. I think anything before that was just like, have sex, make a baby, you out this house. And hello, back families. Anyway, I think it would just really help women and girls to understand their bodies and how essential it is to care for them daily. Not just the week of your period, not just when you feel sick, not just when you feel sad or feel any type of emotion, like daily. Do daily checks with yourself, whether that's through gratitude, through prayer, through journaling, through meditation, through literally just standing in front of a mirror like Issa Rae and talking to yourself. Like, check in with yourself. Know your body. Know what changes it's making. Take notice of these things. If maybe you feel a certain way one month and not a certain way the next month, like what changed? Take notice of your stress levels. Take notice of your happiness. Like, just be aware. Be all-encompassingly aware of yourself at all times. And I think that it will at least help you to have a better understanding and knowledge of everything around you. Also, a great thing to know, or a great thing from knowing about all of these different phases during your cycle, you'll know how to schedule your life accordingly, okay? If you're a person who hates back-to-back meetings, you know not to schedule them during your luteal phase because you want to rest and relax, okay? Schedule them during your follicular phase when you have more energy and when you're able to really dive in and get things done. Don't schedule them during your luteal phase right before your cycle starts because your body needs time to recharge and get ready for battle. I hope it doesn't have to get ready for battle, but if it does, don't schedule no meetings. Okay. I hope this episode helped. I hope it brought clarity. I hope it taught you something new. I hope it challenges you to be kind to yourself. So yeah, leave a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. Interact with me, like it, love it, share it, hit that subscribe button, obviously. If you're listening on the podcast, leave a review if you've been listening for the past few episodes. If you've been listening since the beginning, please leave a review. It will help others find me so that we are able to be in this together, okay? Grow this community, open these conversations, have dialogue, and just be great, okay? I invite you to share this episode with a friend or a partner and just let's talk more about our periods. Okay, they're all different. And I think if we collectively share what's happening with one another, we can really fight this thing and really get after knowing how to handle our bodies. Especially handle them better, handle them with more care. All right, now let's get into our affirmation. Knowledge is power, and I am equipped to handle whatever comes my way. So say it with me. Knowledge is power, and I am equipped to handle whatever comes my way. I see you. I love you. I hear you. I see you. Peace. Hey BFFs, thanks for tuning in to Dear Aunt Flo. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to show support, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. This will help more period BFFs find our community and add to the conversation. Follow on IG at dearauntflo.pod and let me know what topics you'd like to cover this season. Catch you in the next episode, period.